Now, you can see it up there. A strong economy means a stronger future. And that's what this election is about. And this has underpinned every single thing that we have done as Liberals in government. It's true in the government that I lead, as it is in Jeremy's. Unless you can manage a strong economy, unless you can manage finances, you're just making stuff up. You're just talking. You're not able to do any of the things that you hope to do. A strong economy is what we invested in during the course of the pandemic, because we knew that's what would be needed to get us through the pandemic. And more importantly, on the other side, to come out of that pandemic. And so a strong economy is the foundation for absolutely everything you hope to achieve in government. Delivering those essential services that Australians rely on, investing in our defence forces, doing all of the things that governments are charged to do, all depends on having a strong economy to deliver them. And Australia, compared to the rest of the world, particularly advanced economies, is delivering on that. You look around the world today, Australia, coming through this pandemic with higher rates of employment growth, higher rates of economic growth, a lower rate even of inflation than we're seeing in other countries, and lower debt than other countries. And we've done this by ensuring that our economy continues to grow, that we continue to invest in that economy. And so we can speak of an economy that is run by a government with a AAA credit rating, one of only 9 countries in the world to come through this pandemic in this way. Now, this hasn't happened by accident. A strong economy is just not the product of just letting things happen. And particularly in the times that we've lived in over the last 3 years, and the last 2 in particular, it has required every ounce of the Liberals and Nationals' economic management experience and skills to ensure that we could take Australia through this. But more importantly than that, it took a strong economic plan. An economic plan that has delivered these outcomes that I speak of. An economic plan that is invested in infrastructure, that is invested in skills, that is invested in lower taxes, that is invested in cutting red tape, that is investing in affordable and reliable energy, that's investing in ensuring that our economy and our small businesses and medium-sized businesses can adopt the new digital and data technologies that make them competitive around the world. It's about investing in our manufacturing and our advanced manufacturing, particularly here in this great state, in our food processing, in our traditional industries. And all of these, you know, one of the things I've relied on so much over the past few years has been the strength of regional Australia. Regional Australia, and when I speak of regional Australia, I'm talking about Tasmania. And regional Australia has carried in so many ways the rest of the country through its primary industries, through its resources, through its forestry, through its fishing, through its mining, and has carried Australia through and ensured that we could maintain a strong economy. So our economic plan delivers that. But the economic plan here in this state, working together with the state government here in a true partnership, investing firstly, this is the green energy capital of Australia. It's the green energy capital, I reckon, of the world. And it is born, it's in the DNA of Tasmania. When you think back to when Tas Hydro was established, guys here knows all about it. We've been to plenty of places in the Tas Hydro scheme. I mean, it goes back decades and decades and decades, and the pioneering spirit that established this battery of the nation, which is being built here. And here we are investing in that battery of the nation and connecting it to the rest of the country. Over $200 million we have partnered with the Tasmanian state government to ensure that we are seeing battery of the nation realise, places like Tarraleah, ensuring that we're investing in the Marinus Link, which is going to be one of the most important connections of anywhere in the country, and will enable Tasmania to power up the rest of the country and fuel the affordable energy that our major industries need, not just here in Tasmania, but right around the country. And in addition to that, we've got $70 million which we've invested in the hydrogen hub, which is to be established here in Bell Bay, which was announced here with Bridget Archer yesterday, something I know Susie Bowers also pretty excited about, given her background in this area. So we're investing in the clean energy. We're investing $300 million in the forestry industry right across the country. And we know how important forestry jobs are in Tasmania. We know how important forestry is here in Tasmania. And so with the Innovation Hub, which will be in Launceston, we will be pioneering the future of forestry, not just in this country, but I believe right across the world, about the sorts of products that can be made by investing also, not just in how we manage our native forests, and I can assure you, absolutely, there will be no shutdown of native forestry under a Liberal government. Not at a state level, not at a federal level. But you know what Labor and the Greens would do. You know what Labor and the Greens would do. But in addition to that, we're investing in plantations, and we're investing in those family businesses that have been doing this for generations. And Jenny and I were with one of them just a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago. And the investments they're making in their future, and that fills me with confidence that we're backing in what Australians are wanting to do. And then we have $100 million. I heard Gav talking about this, the Tas Irrigation Scheme, Tranche 3. That's going ahead with over $100 million invested there. Then we've got $110 million just announced in the last few days in supporting our advanced manufacturing industries here in Tasmania. Our zinc manufacturing down there in Hobart near Star. 50 million, 20 million coming from the state government, doing these things together. Another 40 million that we've invested in the incredible works we're doing for advanced manufacturing from Lark distilleries in the electorate of Lyons, all through to other work we're doing with Alcoa and other projects, and clean recycled products that are coming out of Tasmania. So we're investing in the advanced manufacturing jobs as well in Tasmania, and this is what an economic plan looks like. Investing in the things that put people in jobs, that create incomes, that support the services that Australians rely on. So these things didn't happen by accident. But at the same time, we are very conscious as Liberals, connected to our communities, connected to the families in our communities, about the real struggles and challenges that exist. This is a very uncertain world. In our economy, we have got more moving parts than we've seen before. We have the disruption caused by the pandemic. We've got a war in Europe. We have the disruption caused by the so many natural disasters that have taken place, and that is putting enormous pressure on the cost of living for Australians. And we understand that. And so you need to have a plan to deal with that as well. And that's why in this year's budget, the Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, understood, as I did, that we needed to address that here and now. And because of a $100 billion turnaround in the last 12 months, because our economic plan is working, we're able to provide that immediate relief. Halving the petrol tax, $250 direct to pensioners and others who depend on government-provided income support. And of course, $420 that Australians, including here in Tasmania, will get to keep. It's theirs. They earned it. I always get quite surprised when Labor talks about tax cuts, about costing. It doesn't cost the government anything. It's not our money. It's that you earned it. We're just saying you should keep more of what you earn. You should keep more of what you earn. Labor thinks when they're giving you a tax cut that somehow they're paying you something. No, you're the ones doing the paying to the government when you're paying taxes. And this is why we think, and Liberals have always been committed to lower taxes, because we know that's what gives people incentive. So our economic plan is delivering on the ground, and it's supporting people, particularly at a time when these cost of living pressures are on. And we get that. And that's why we've delivered that support. But, you know, when those cost of living pressures are on, and they are, the essential services that you rely on even more. And you want to be assured of them, of healthcare, of education, of all of these things. It becomes, if you like, part of the income of sorts that you depend on at a time like this. And that's why a strong economy is so important. You cannot guarantee the essential services that Australians rely on, whether it's the pension, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, aged care, childcare, all of these things. You cannot guarantee them if you cannot run a strong economy. And that's why this election is about a strong economy and how you achieve it, how you maintain it, and your strong plan to take it forward into the future. Now, today, we made an important announcement, and it extends the cost of living relief that we've put in place. The Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme, which has been around a long time, I think is one of the most significant achievements of our nation. I really do. When you look around the world and you look at other countries, they don't have schemes necessarily like this. And countries that haven't been able to grow their economies and develop their economies and run a strong economy, they don't have schemes like this, like we do. And over the course of our government, we've put 2,900 new and amended listings on the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme, which means that people can get access to affordable medicines that change their lives. They do. Medicines that can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per course. And they can get it at $6.80 on a concession. And right now, $42.50. But we made the commitment today that that's going down by $10. Going down by $10. And that means for those who need asthma medication, those who need blood thinning medication, those who need cardiac types of medication, going back month after month after month after month, and for many, particularly as they grow older, and they've saved and supported themselves and are living independently in retirement, may not have a concession card. Why? Because they worked hard, saved, got themselves into that situation, had one of life's great achievements, and that is to save for your retirement and be independent in your retirement. That is a great achievement. It's a significant achievement. And it's something we should all aspire to. Not everybody can. And that's why we have the services and support that we rightly have. But for those who have, they deserve a fair go too. They deserve that recognition. And that's why we are dropping that co-payment from $42.50 down to $32.50. And we're also doing it for the families like Jess, who I met not very, very recently, who's on Trikafta. I spoke about her up on the Central Coast. And she has cystic fibrosis, had it since she's a kid. And, they're married, they're expecting their first child, which was so exciting. And Trikafta enabled that to happen. One of the many miracles of these drugs, which is just tremendous. And she'll be able to access it. She works, her husband works, he runs a building business. They don't qualify for concessional treatments, but they're having a go, and they deserve a fair go. And that's why they are going to get access when those payments come down to $32.50. So this is why we do this stuff. This is why we think a strong economy is so important. It's not a certificate you put on the wall and go, isn't that wonderful? And we admire our economy and how wonderful it is. No. That is not the point of a strong economy. The point of a strong economy is that I can say to you as a Prime Minister that we can guarantee the essential services that you rely on. And if you can't deliver a strong economy, you can give no such guarantee. You can't guarantee Medicare. You can talk about Medicare all you like. You can say you introduced it. You can say you opened the National Disability Insurance Scheme. Sure. But as I said in the debate, Labor sometimes know how to start these things, but they never know how to pay for them. And so it's always a Liberal government that has to come in and work out how to pay for these big schemes. Eric's been around a while. We've seen some big ones, haven't we, Eric? And we've always had to sit around the table and work out how to pay for it. And we do. That's the point. We have Medicare now at record levels of funding. The National Disability Insurance Scheme, it's a challenging program. It's a great program. It's a tremendous program. But, you've got to have a strong economy to support it.